Hello, and today we're going to be relieving stress from the body. So stress can negatively impact and influence our everyday actions, and practicing this short little restorative sequence can help you focus on releasing those everyday stresses. Forward folds are naturally, they kind of pull your focus inwards, helping to soothe your central nervous system and calm you down. So we're going to start today in an easy pose, and I'm going to be offering lots of modifications with props. So to get yourself comfortable in a seat, because we're going to be doing a little bit of breath work, you can take a blanket or 2 or 3 and prop your hips up onto the blanket, and just some blocks under the knees might be nice and comfortable to help you stay there for a little bit longer. If it's really not comfortable, then just sit up on a chair. So I'm just going to adjust your position. Try again. Just going to adjust your position slightly, and then we're going to take some alternate nostril breathing. So we'll be using the thumb and the ring finger. The peace sign fingers can either go up onto your space between your eyebrows and rest, or you can bring them down to the palm of the hand and have the thumb and the ring finger either side of the nose. So I'm just showing you this. We'll be coming into this in a minute, just so you know what we're doing when I start guiding you through. You close off the right nostril, breathe in through the left. Then you will close off the left nostril, breathe out through the right. Then we breathe in through the right, out through the left. So I'll just be giving vague instructions so you can really focus more on the breath and the calming influence that breath has on the body. Okay, so close the eyes or just soften the gaze. Allow the top of the pelvis to slightly tip forwards, so it's creating the natural curve in the lower back. Just allow the pelvis and the thighs to be heavy. Just softly roll the shoulders up and back, and then just let them relax. Move the tips of the ears back very slightly, so the head is aligned over the pelvis. Take a nice deep breath. And we'll move into a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breath. So bring the thumb and the ring finger either side of the nose. Close off the right nostril and breathe in through the left. At the top of the breath, close off the left nostril and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close off the right nostril, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Out through the right. In, right. Out, left. In, left. Out, right. Just continue with alternate nostril breathing. So wherever you are, you want to think about finishing with breathing out of the left nostril. So just complete the breath until you've managed to find the breath out of the left nostril. And release the hand down. Take a full deep breath in when you get there. Okay, so we're going to come into a forward fold. So like I said, I'm offering lots of modifications, and it depends how you want to really feel in your body today. Okay, so if you've got pillows and blankets and loads of props you want to prop yourself up on, this is great. If you rather do more of an active fold, that's okay too. So it might be useful to bring your hips still onto your blanket to help tip the pelvis forwards, and then you can lean forwards into your forward fold. Now you can bend the knees. You may be able to rest your head onto a block. You may not come down that far, and you could place some props up in front of you to make a little stack. Even maybe a chair would work. If you placed your legs under a chair, you could rest the head onto the seat of the chair, or just stay here. Just enjoy a couple more breaths. And slowly sitting up. Just bend the right knee in towards the chest. Wrap your left arm around the right leg. Bring your right hand. Now you can see here, if I was going to bring my right hand to the floor, it's going to lean me back slightly. So I'm just going to take my hand to a block so I can stay more upright in my spine. Inhale, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, pull the belly in. Deepen the twist. Pull the back shoulder back. And your front shoulder, it's like you're trying to pull your left shoulder towards your right hip. You'll find that on your exhale. Inhale, pull the right shoulder back. Exhale, left shoulder towards the right hip. So you really pull the belly in there, deepen the twist. Lovely, let's come back to the center. Extend the right leg, pull the left leg in. Wrapping the right arm around the left leg. Left hand to the floor or to block. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull the belly in and start to turn more towards the left. Inhale, pull the left shoulder back. Exhale, imagine pulling right shoulder to left hip. Pull the belly in. Find a lovely stretch down the spine, in the rotators of the spine. Okay, come back to the center. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. So here, if you find it more comfortable, take the blocks underneath the knees. So you can stay here, like you see I stay sitting on the blanket just to help my pelvis tip forwards. Just hold on to the shins, take a deep breath. And just staying here is fine, or you can start to come forwards into more of a fold. So keep the length in the spine first of all. I'm even lengthening the side body by kind of wiggling the body forwards as I go. Then moving the hands around the toes. You can bring the head down towards the feet. Okay, so there's no need to come down this far. You can always, if you've got more blocks, you can just lean the head to the block. It really just depends on how your body feels today, where it's holding the tension. You know, you might be able to soften into it, or you might be feeling a lot tighter. So just go with wherever the body's allowing you to go. Breathe into the hips. Feel the sensations in the lower back. And come back up to sitting. Extend the right leg forwards. Bring the left foot to touch the inner thigh. Okay, it might be the inner thigh, it might be the calf, you know, somewhere along that right leg is fine. You can still place a block underneath the left knee if you need to. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale. Reach your heart towards your toes. So you may feel that this is actually enough of a stretch. I've got a super tight right leg today. So for me, I'm feeling this right here and I don't need to go any deeper. I can feel it stretching right on the bit that feels really tight for me. So, you know, really try and find that awareness of your own body. Is this enough? Do you need to stay upright? Maybe this is enough. Or maybe you can come a lot further forwards. You might be able to grab hold of the foot. You might want to strap around the foot. You know, really make it feel nice in your body. come back up to a seat and change the legs over. So we're extending the left leg, bending the right. So the right foot either to the inner thigh or the calf. Maybe you place that block under the right knee. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, reach the heart forwards towards the toes. So see how it feels this side. Again, you might need to stay upright. You might want to grab some props to rest upon. And really make it what your body's craving for. So I can feel this leg, it's completely different to the other side. So I can come down a little bit further to find that stretch. And I'm feeling the stretch in a completely different place this side to what I was on my other leg. It's much more hamstrings, whereas on this side it's my IT band that's very tight. So I don't want to get into the whole technical side of things when doing a restorative class. Just want you to relax, but you know, be aware of the differences in the body and just embrace it. Let's come back up to a seat, and this time we're going to take our legs out wide. Okay, so this is just me. I like to have my heels on the cushion of my mat. It actually feels quite uncomfortable for me to have my heels pressing into the laminate floor. So I'm just going to move this way around so I can still keep my feet onto the cushion of the mat. So again, you might want props, you might want to do it without. So I'm going to give you a full range of options. Now I like to have the feet either flexed or pointed, so you are keeping some muscle engagement in and around your groin and hamstrings so that you're not going to tear anything. Okay, another option if you want to get really relaxed in the legs is just don't take them out quite so wide. So again, leaving that to you, and then you can just stay upright. Really having a blanket or a bit of padding underneath the pelvis here is going to help it to change the angle of the pelvis forward, so that will make it a bit more comfortable for you. And then you can start to come forwards. So forearms onto the blocks is quite a nice option, which is something I like to take quite often. You could have the variation where you're bringing your head to blocks. And you can even set up here for a bolster. Okay, so I can come down this high, but you might need your setup a little bit higher. So just find things around your house that you can prop up. You could use books, you can use Tupperware is another good thing that you can stack up, and it's quite supportive for your pillow. And then you can lean and just turn the head to the side. I think for me, for this one, I prefer to have my legs not quite so far apart, so I can really relax into it. But really find what your body's calling for. Okay, if you're doing this variation, just turn the head the other way. And slowly come up to a seat. And we'll move on to hands and knees. Inhale, arch the spine, reach the heart forwards. Exhale, round through the back. Bring the chin towards the chest. And inhale, arch the spine, heart forwards, cow pose. Exhale, round. So especially if you spend all day kind of looking up at a computer screen or something in front of you, then try not to move through the back of the head. Just keep the gaze down as you arch the spine. And then when you breathe out and round, really tuck the chin in towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. Come back into cow pose. Tuck the toes and keeping that anterior tilt of the pelvis, press back to downward facing dog. And keep the knees nice and bent. Press the hands down into the ground. Bend the right knee, push the left heel down towards the ground. Lift the left heel and press the right heel down towards the ground. Lift both heels, keep the knees bent and then press both heels down towards the ground. So the legs may straighten here, but you may need to keep a good bend in the knees as you press the heels down. So we're going to come into pigeon pose. And again, I'm going to give you lots of modifications. So we'll start with regular pigeon. Let's bring the right shin across the mat. Sliding the left leg back. So we could take a block underneath the hip here. If a block is a bit hard, these cork blocks are, you could use a blanket. And this is much more comfortable. Okay, another option, you could take this bolster and have that underneath the hip. Okay, might take a little bit of adjusting and fidgeting to get it into the right place, which again is a really another comfortable position, I find. Okay, pigeon can, if you've got knee injuries, can be really uncomfortable. So if it's really not happening for you, just roll slightly onto the right hip. Bring the right foot forward so the ankle's in line with the knee. And then same thing with your left leg. So you've got your knee and hip in line and then your ankle and knee in line. So you can take this variation as well. Okay, if none of those work for you, please do just come down onto your back and cross the right ankle by the knee. This may be enough, or you can catch hold of the back of the left leg. Okay, so I'm really hoping that out of all those options you can find something that works for you in your body. And then we'll come, so everyone just find their pigeon pose. Take a nice deep breath in. And then breathe out as you start to lean forwards. So again, your options, you could bring your forearms to the floor. You could bring your forearms to blocks. You could lay out a bolster or cushion in front of you and rest upon that. Obviously, you know, if you're someone that's more comfortable right down on the ground, you can do this position as well. Just like I say, whatever works in your body today. And just be mindful of this left leg, that it's not creeping off over towards the left side. Try and keep the leg in line with the hip. So we're going to move on to pigeon on the other side. Nice and slowly. I like to enter from downward dog, but if you've got another position that you want to take to get there, more than welcome. So obviously if you're on your back, just change legs. You know, if you're doing that 90-90 position with the legs, 90-degree position, you can just change legs. If you're coming into pigeon on the other side, down dog's a nice way to transition. So take your time, really do take your time to find the pose. Don't just expect to get there in one sweep. You know, we want to make it really comfortable, so we're releasing as much tension from the body as we can. So make it what works for you. Okay, so if you're on your back, do just stay there. So I'm going to again move back to downward dog. Then I'm going to come down to my knees, then onto my belly, and then roll onto my back. So like I said, feel free to follow me, or if you've got a different way you like to get there. It's just all about you today. Okay, now we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Okay, if this is not a great position for you, then just take the knees a little bit wider apart. Keep the feet together, but just open the knees. That should give you a little bit more space in the pose. Now this is actually called wind relieving pose. It releases tension from the belly, and as the name suggests, it can really help with digestion. So if you're able to, really give yourself a hug here, wrapping the arms around the shins. But if you need to keep hands on the shins, knees wider, you know, make it comfortable. Okay, we'll take happy baby pose. So again, if you need to modify, keep the knees wider apart. Just keep the feet flexed, ankles in line with the knees, and squeeze the thighs down towards the ground. This can be a great position to be in. Okay, to move on, you take the hands on the inside of the leg, catch hold of the heels, and then turn the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Keep the knees turned out, pull down onto the heels, try and plug the shoulders back in. Nice deep breath. Okay, release the feet, and we're just going to take our legs up the wall position. Now, if you don't have a wall, you can just extend the legs straight up. Okay, this can work just as well. You could rest your feet on a chair, or if you do have a wall nearby, you don't need to be too close to it. It's, again, kind of depends how you feel. I really like to get my bum right up close to the wall and then extend my legs up. This is a really nice position for me. But if you need to be further away, you know, do what works for you. And then just relax. Let the feet relax. Hands relax. Relax the belly, the shoulders, the jaw, the face. Enjoy the breath. Bend the knees, roll over onto the right side. Stay here for as long as you need. And then make your way to a seated position. So we're just going to finish with another breath called Samavriti, which is same action, and it's also can be known as box breathing, what we're doing here. So get nice and comfortable. As you close your eyes or just soften the gaze, visualize a box in front of you. So we're going to breathe in up the right side of your box for a count of 4. Then hold the breath, trace along the top line of the box for a count of 4. Then breathe out, tracing down the left side of your box for a count of 4. Then hold the breath out and trace along that bottom line for a count of 4. So just tracing, by tracing I mean just with your mind, with your mind's eye. Okay, so breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4 and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Now just relax the breath. Slowly open the eyes. Bring your hands to the heart center. Bring your thumbs to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. Set your intention of how you want tomorrow to be. The more you can manifest how you want your day to go, the more likely it's going to be good. Thank you for being here. Namaste.